We're live, but we're gonna go ahead and give it some time. See if anybody jumps in. I'm trying to pull it up on my computer. See if it's showing.
It's showing on the channel. It just popped up notification for both channels on my phone.
Yeah, it just I got it. All right, let's see if someone jumps in. In that one person is me.
It's me.
All right. And if you're watching this on the replay, the reason why we have to wait for people is because something went wrong on um, the software side of things, and I set it up, but it never showed that it was set up. And I set it up a week ago. So no one knew that the live was set up and ready to go for 6 o'clock. So we're just kind of waiting to see if people knew remembered that we were doing 6 o'clock today and are gonna show up. If you are in here, say hello so we know. But we're gonna wait a little bit till we see if a few more people come in. Let's see. All right. And once again, if you're watching on the replay, tonight we will be talking about Vanessa Guillen, the Tinder Swindler, and Nightstalker, given that we have enough time for everybody. But I do want to prioritize prioritize Vanessa again, being that Veterans Day just passed, um, and we've been saying we are going to talk about her and pushing it back. So I would like to put her first on my docket.
Hi, Mitzi.
Oh, Missy's in here. Hey, Missy. Oh,
Did you post
okay. I
it?
didn't have it on the comments
Did you
part.
post in your group?
No, because I didn't have a link until we started. But I'm gonna go do it now. Hold on. In the 1 week where we have an hour only. So, Missy, we're waiting on people to see if anyone else comes in because I wasn't able to give a heads up about the video ahead of time, even though our usual people know that we do this on Wednesdays. How are you doing tonight, Mitzi? Or this evening? What?
It was just so quiet.
I know. I'm sharing. I'm sharing to the group. I see a couple of more people joined in. If you hear, say hello.
I watched that doc that I was telling you about. I watched it today.
Was it good?
It was yeah, it was okay. It's just like it's Canadian.
Okay, what it was about?
This man's wife drowned. It was just him and her on the lake, I guess. And he said that they were just together and he was fishing and then he heard a splash. He looked and she was gone. And he said that he tried to jump in to save her, but he has a lot of body fat, so he he kept floating up. So he swam to shore, grabbed a rock, and then he was standing on the shore, and like he didn't know where she was, but then he saw bubbles, so he swam to that space where he saw the bubbles and used the rock to help weigh him down to grab her.
How
Then
he swam with a rock?
he dropped the rock and he grabbed her and pulled her to shore and tried CPR, but she was dead.
Oh my gosh.
And it became this whole thing at first, just the police just didn't believe his story. And then they like did a whole case on him. And then one of the wives, hi,
Hey, Leanna.
hey Leanna, one of the wives cousins had said came forward and said, hey Sheila,
Hey, Sheila.
came forward and said that he had threatened the wife and said that I'm going to kill you, you're going to drown, and no one's going to ever know or find you. He told it to the wife told it to the cousin, and then they made a case. And it's a whole thing. It took years, and you just have to watch it to see if you believe him or not.
That's crazy.
I'm talking about. I watched a true crime doc today called I don't even remember. Into the cold. Is that what I sent you, Crystal?
Something like that. In the cold or into the cold.
Let me look. In Cold Water. It's on Amazon
Oh.
Prime. It's called In Cold Water.
All right, y'all. Did anybody do their homework? Rebecca was asking me if we were going live tonight. I don't know if she's coming or not.
Did you tell her yes?
Mm-hmm. No, I told her no. All right. So tonight we're gonna be talking for those who just walked in. We're gonna be talking Vanessa Guillen, Tinder Swindler, Nightstalker, and of course, if we don't have time, we'll push something back. Yeah, we originally started going live at this time, and then I had to push it back because I was picking up hubby from work or something. But now we push it back to the original time, 6 o'clock. Oh man.
Her dog ate her homework.
Who?
Leanna.
That's what she said, or you said that?
That's what she said. My dog. You don't see the comments?
Oh, I see it way up there. But you see, you're on your MacBook and I'm on my phone. So the comments that are scrolling are bigger for you. I can't see, I only could see one at a time big enough to read.
Oh, yeah, they're. You should. Why don't you don't ever use your MacBook?
I got it right here. I don't, because the camera quality is not that good for me. So I don't
It's
ever,
so weird because I love using my MacBook for this.
I feel like we have the exact same MacBook, but your
Not
camera
anymore.
quality is better than mine.
Not anymore. You upgraded.
Oh, I never tried it since I upgraded. Oh gosh, I'm so slow. All right, let me go. I'm gonna put it on so I can read on here if I can find it. I watched the Night Stalker. Y'all, I didn't rewatch it, so like I'm not fresh on it. I watched Vanessa again today for the first time, even though I knew the story, but I had never watched the doc. And then I rewatched Tinder Swindler today because it had been a long time since I saw it. So we have more people watching on Mystery Mugs and Melanin, I think.
Really?
Oh, maybe not. I'm looking at the wrong thing. We have two people watching on Mystery Mugs and Melanin.
One is me.
Oh, now there's three people and one is me. All right. Oh my gosh. Cameron, what are you dropping? And I'm gonna drop a comment.
Is there a funny thing? My chickens pecked at my homework. I don't have a dog.
Oh, yeah, it would be The chickens for Leanna. If y'all hear crunching, Kamani's right here crunching on popcorn. All right, let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Hygo,
Let's
let's
get.
get it
I don't know.
started in here. I'm a survivor. No, we're not singing Reba.
Not Reba.
No, but I'm just singing that. All right,
Yeah,
y'all.
that we need to talk about it next Wednesday.
What?
The Delphi murders.
Okay. Oh, my back. Y'all, I've been doing a lot of work around here, and my body is aching so bad. My back is hurting, and sitting right here is not helping. All right, Celine and I both have a hard stop in an hour. She's not feeling well, and I have some things I need to get done on this end with the kids. So we need to jump into it. I'm watching on whatever my phone tells me that you are on live. That works. But if anyone is watching on the Crystal Heart channel and you are not subscribed to Mystery Mugs and Melanin, then
Open the door.
you need to do that. You need to subscribe because these will be moving to Mystery Mugs and Melanin. I'm putting in the comment section. Uh, why did it come up like that?
Like,
Okay, that's not how I meant to put it. Hold on. Or maybe it is the way it's supposed to come up.
I just
Anyway, that's
finished
the channel
eating.
name.
Okay, so Leanna said I just finished eating Piggly Wiggly cake or pigtail cake, and I thought she meant cake from Piggly Wiggly.
Oh, I thought that's what you were saying too. I'm trying to listen. Sheila, you're always on the phone. If
Always.
you're not watching football, you're on the phone. Um, the Delphi killer got guilty plea, and the wife does not think he did it. She said the police convinced him he did it. Well, drop that link. I'm guessing I'm not subscribed. I'm a survivor. All right. So, we say that we're gonna start with Vanessa again because Veterans Day just passed, and what better way to honor her memory than to discuss it now? So, how long ago did you watch the documentary?
I don't know when it first came out.
I don't know when it first came out. I don't know. I didn't really want to watch it when it first came out because I was like, I knew the story. I don't know. For some reason, some cases affect me differently, and I don't want to watch documentaries on it, or I don't want to watch more about it. And I guess time had passed, so then I watched it today. But I don't know. Sometimes I'm like that.
What's the pig?
Um,
Yeah, Piggly Wiggly is a grocery store.
the pig. All right, so I'm sure everybody saw whenever the story was in the news, which was like 2020, right?
Yes.
You seem so far away.
Who, me? I'm
You
sorry.
way off in the abyss.
So I remember the case very detailed because my family lives in Killeen, so they talked about it like a lot. And also my uh, spouse at the time was in the military and in recruiting, and it was like a big thing for women of Latina descent about they had fears about joining the military. So it was a lot of people didn't hear about the story though. Did
Yeah,
people?
for real.
Yeah. Did you all watch I Am Vanessa Guillen on Netflix as your homework? She wants you to drop the page link, Leanna.
Huh. Okay. Oh, I don't know if it's gonna let me put a link on. I'm gonna have to go on Crystal Heart. Um, Maybe the story was big here because
It's,
this is Austin.
yeah.
I thought it was big everywhere.
I mean, a lot of people, yeah, but a lot of people hadn't heard of it. But
Oh,
so Vanessa Guillen was like 20 years old, and she was in the United States Army. She was stationed at Fort Hood, which is basically Fort Hood, Killeen, Texas. And she was basically um, bludgeoned to death by another soldier. But it was like, how, when you watch the documentary, Crystal, like, how'd you feel?
what you mean?
Like about the cover up and everything.
Um, I felt like I don't know how to say this. Like, they didn't, I guess, want or expected to go any further than the
What it,
base. Like,
yeah,
let's keep what's going on base on base. But I feel like so much was going on in Fort Hood that wasn't good, and they were used to keeping.
things in
Yeah,
house.
yeah,
So she was last seen on April 22nd, and this is in 2020. She was seen around 1 p.m. She was in the parking lot of her unit on base. Her car keys, her ID card, her bank card, and her barrack keys were found inside the armory where she worked. She worked in um, She worked inside an armory at her unit in Fort Hood. Oh, you got the link.
yeah. I had put it on Mystery Muzzlemelon, but I forgot if you're watching on Crystal Heart, you don't see what's going on.
Oh, so you put it on. Okay.
Yeah, so I went to Crystal Heart and put it.
So her family was like she wouldn't have left these items behind voluntarily, and they thought it was just very suspicious. And excuse me, sorry. And initially, like, okay, so the case was investigated under the United States Army Criminal Investigation or Investigative Command, and the FBI, and then the local law enforcement, like Bell County, which is county police in Bell County, and the Killeen, and I think Belton, and then there was the U.S. Marshals was involved, and I think the Rangers gave like support. And then multiple units in Fort Hood started searching the area within 2 weeks of her disappearance. So before she even went missing, she had told her family that she was being sexually harassed by a sergeant at Fort Hood. I don't think they said his name. I think he still remains unnamed. Do you
I
remember
don't know.
his name? So it was a sergeant at Fort Hood, and that they have been complaints from other female soldiers that against that sergeant, but they had all been dismissed by higher ups. So her mom advised her to report it, but she told her mom that she couldn't do it alone, like she couldn't put a stop to it herself. She said that she feared for retaliation if she made a report, which is a big thing for women in the military. And also her mom is an undocumented immigrant, so she feared, like, she didn't want anyone to go after her mom because of what she did as in retaliation. So in June, her mom told reporters that she didn't like how the army was handling the investigation, and she had an attorney and everything. If I'm missing something, Crystal, let me know, because you watched it more recently than me. They had an attorney and everything, and the attorney even said that the family was kind of being kept in the dark about the investigation. The army wasn't really releasing a lot of details about Vanessa's disappearance. So
When they would ask questions, they would just refer them to the press release
mhm,
instead of giving them any real
detail,
details.
and they're the family. So I think so on June 13th, this is still in 2020, a whole like hundreds of people gathered around at the gates to Fort Hood to protest. This was supporters of the family, just supporters in the community, and they believed that there was a lack of information on the case, and they were like, "You're not doing anything for this missing woman, and this investigation is not being done properly." And then CID, which is the Criminal Investigative Command for the Army, they said that there was no evidence that Vanessa Guillen was assaulted, but they believe that there was foul play with, about her disappearing. That's basically the extent of what they were releasing at the time. So later on, we're still in June. The League of Latin America Citizens, they added $25,000, I think, to the reward, because there was already a $25,000 reward that the Army had put. So they added another $25,000 to a reward to help with finding Vanessa Guillen. So still later on that month, one of the Congress women, Sylvia, remember her last name? Garcia, maybe? She
I don't
did
know.
Vanessa Guillen's family was in her district. So she met with Fort Hood, like the higher ups, the officials, to discuss what's going on and like the searches and everything. And then so the authorities, they announced that more than 300 interviews have been done. They had spent like more than 10,000 hours investigating the disappearance. And this woman even helped her mom find like an immigration attorney to help her out, like, because I think at one point she had been detained for illegal immigration. So like, this is the things that Vanessa Guillen had feared. So it was June 30th. Army investigators received a call because some private contractors had discovered partial human remains along the river, Leon River in Belton, which is close to Killeen. It's kind of like a suburb of it. And the area had previously been searched by cadaver dogs and rangers and people and stuff, but there was nothing found. So they think that she was buried under concrete, and then like wildlife may have dug her up. Anything you want to add? I'm going from memory.
Well, I'm kind of remembering whenever they announced that they found the body, they didn't, like, the family went out there while they were doing while the press was out, and they weren't releasing, they weren't saying, you
Anything.
know, they wasn't saying anything. But I don't know if I'm remembering this right, y'all. I'm tired. But I just remember something like that they were there, and like, just from like what the press was saying, they knew it was her, and they just showed them crying and stuff. But it was like they just said that they found the body and they're
And
investigating it
found
as a,
remains. Yeah,
yeah.
they didn't like say anything.
Which, I mean, generally they wouldn't just come out and say, "Hey, we found such and such," without identifying the body.
Do you remember the case of I feel bad because I can't remember her name right now. Um and I need to remember her name. Hold on. It was one of our cases that we did. And hold on, let me just get her name real quick. Her name was Felicia Johnson. Do you remember Felicia Johnson? She was the one from California. She came to Texas like for her birthday, and she the African man murdered her and then he escaped.
Yeah.
Well, do you remember when we talked about Texas EquiSearch? Because they had searched around and they were the ones who have found like they're a nonprofit organization in Texas, but they've helped in numerous cases around the country to help find missing people. And so Tim Miller, he's a director of Texas EquiSearch, and he has said that where Vanessa Guillen was buried was one of the most sophisticated burial sites he had ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Leanna, we both are. Well, Celine isn't feeling too well, but I'm just tired. All right, where were we? They found the body.
Sorry. Okay, yeah. So they found the body. And then so that same night, they re-interviewed this woman named Cicely Aguilar.
I'm not good with names.
I know, and I'm trying to keep everyone's name straight.
I don't remember these people's name. Are you really remembering it?
Because I wrote this as one of our cases to.
Oh, it is Aguilar though.
I wrote it as one of our cases to discuss. So I remember a lot of it, and I also have notes.
Oh, because I'm like, dang girl, how you remember stuff that well?
So okay, so she was like separated from her husband, and her husband was a soldier at Fort Hood. And she was also the girlfriend of a soldier, right? She had a husband and a boyfriend.
She was a girlfriend.
Okay, well, she was the girlfriend of Robinson. He was a specialist.
I didn't know she was married. I'd be missing stuff. I didn't know she was married too.
Married too, yeah. So, but her boyfriend was Robinson. I can't remember the first name. He was a specialist, and he was a soldier who was one of the last people known to have seen Vanessa on the day of her disappearances. But he had already been talked to by the investigators. But then Cecily Aguilar, told police that Robinson had confessed to her that he had killed a female soldier at Fort Hood. So the police had her place a phone call to Robinson and said they found pieces, baby, they found pieces, something like that. And
wait, hold on, I got to interrupt you because I just Googled, and she was married, and her husband was shot in 2023.
Really? So so she had a husband who was a soldier at Fort Hood and a boyfriend who was a soldier at Fort Hood.
Yes. And I mean, apparently they divorced, I guess, after she was in jail. But he got shot in 2023. Okay. I just saw that. I just wanted to add that in.
So, and then she texted him like news articles. He didn't say anything like denying what was in the articles or anything, but allegedly she helped
Tracy
Robinson dismember and dispose of Vanessa Guillen's body on April 22nd, 2020, after Robinson told her he had bludgeoned Vanessa to death with a hammer inside of the armory. Now, the Army did a whole investigation, and he hit her in the head in the armory, but they didn't find any evidence of it or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the investigation that the Army did? Okay, sorry.
What investigation?
So a lot of other soldiers had recently been reported missing from Fort Hood, and during the search for Vanessa Guillen, two other set of remains from soldiers were discovered, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So on June 30th, Robinson actually escaped custody of an unarmed guard at his unit. He fled Fort Hood after he saw that they had discovered the remains, because he had been detained by his unit. CID had requested that he be detained because they told him that he had violated COVID quarantine rules, but really it was because of what the girlfriend had said. And then so on July 1st, they located him. He had killed himself with a handgun before he could be taken into custody. So he was a coward.
Mm-hmm.
And then the girlfriend, Cecily Aguilar, she was arrested. Um, she was arrested. I think they got her with like conspiracy to tamper with evidence or something like that. So she went to
Well,
jail.
she recanted.
She did recant. That's true. That's
She
true.
recanted her statement, um, saying that, and then she said they never read her rights. They never Mirandized her, so she was trying to get it all thrown out, but that didn't work.
And then later, she said that Vanessa Guillen had saw Robinson's lock screen on his cell phone, and it had a picture of Aguilar. So he was worried. This is supposedly, allegedly, he was worried about getting in trouble for violating the fraternization rules because Aguilar was technically still married to another soldier. So he hit Vanessa Guillen in the head with a hammer. That was the motive.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, it was just very.
But then they investigated and said there was no evidence of her ever being sexually harassed or
Yeah,
assaulted or anything like that.
yeah. So it was another thing because, yeah, the army just, she reported to her mom that she was being sexually harassed by a sergeant, which I do think he's still unnamed because they don't want to get him in, you know what I'm saying? Get him in
Yeah.
trouble. And they
Well,
said that,
he's still active duty, or
yeah, yeah,
and then I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought.
they did. The secretary of the army said that he would do an independent review of the case. And then I think eventually he announced there were like 14 commanders and other leaders that was at Fort Hood, and they were disciplined. But I mean, they did their own discipline. We don't know what that means. It could be like a dock of pay for a month. It could be anything, you know. They were disciplined for leadership failures. And they said that there was a permissive environment for sexual assault and sexual harassment at Fort Hood. I mean, so at least they said that. But I mean, there was nothing really, you know. But the family did file a civil suit against the United States Army uh, for damages for the sexual harassment, assault, and wrongful death of their daughter while she was serving in the military. And they tried to pass legislation for Vanessa Guillen as well. I think it didn't go through in the doc.
I think it. I thought at the end it did.
Oh, maybe it did. The I
I
Am
think
Vanessa Guillen Act.
they had tried and it didn't go through, but I think they tried again. I
Okay.
don't know.
Oh yeah, I just looked it up. Yeah, so it was basically it's just really sad because
Yeah. So the I Am Vanessa Guillen Act is a law that addresses how the Department of Defense responds to sex-related offenses against members of the armed forces. It includes criminalizing sexual harassment under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, improving how certain officials respond to sex-related offenses through independent investigations and removing the decision to prosecute sexual misconduct cases from service members' chain of command. So, if I'm reading that right, it means the military can't decide how they get disciplined. They don't have all the power.
Yeah. It was a very sad case. She was only 20 years old. She was a promising soldier in the United States, just trying to serve her country. And, and she was killed for nothing.
Right. Yeah.
She graduated from high school in the top 15% of her class. She played soccer and she liked sports, and she was just a really promising young lady.
Right.
Hey,
Saint
nephew.
Saint says hello.
He always have on his little horn. It's so cute.
All right.
Okay, you can do Tinder.
Girl. Okay, so I watched it. Uh, Moving on to the Tinder Swindler, which is a less serious case. I mean, oh my bad. I looked down at my MacBook and like you were talking on there, but not in here. So I'm like, wait, what's going on? Okay, so I watched it while going in and out doing laundry. So I kind of was trying to refresh myself, and your memory is better than mine. Even your long term memory is better than my short term memory. So basically, the Tinder Swindler is a guy who um who would meet girls on Tinder, and he would tell them that he's like this rich Israeli. I don't know if it was a prince or just of this prestigious family. And come on, can you please? Am I shaking the place? Yeah, so he would meet these girls, and then he would, tell them that he's of this prestigious family and he's a billionaire. He has all this money, and
He was
he
a
would fly.
he was a the son of a diamond mogul.
Yes, diamond mogul. So he would fly them out,
Give him
private jets, huh?
lavish gifts and
Yes, lavish gifts, private jets. He was dressed to the nines. So it all checked. Like the name that he gave these women, if they would research the name, it would go back to the family that he was talking about, that he said he was from. So it all checked. And I mean, if somebody tell you they're a billionaire and they fly you on a private jet, you're gonna be like, okay, yeah, they're a billionaire. So he would do all of that, wine and dine them, send them huge bouquets of roses, and then after he get him in, I don't know, his little clutches, he would then tell them that like these people are after him and his family because of who they are. They have people after them, and he can't leave a trace, so he can't spend his own money. So then he would start asking the women for money, and the women, and telling them, I'm gonna pay you back, or I'm gonna give you one of them, he told him he would give her his watch. He would fly her out to give her the watch to as like collateral to pay for the money or whatever, because he couldn't use money. And so they were sending him like lots of money, 20, $30,000, and
taking out loans. They didn't
taking out
have
loans.
like yeah.
One woman used the money in her savings that she was gonna buy an apartment with. Most of these was it. I think there
This
might
was
have been one
Europe.
American woman.
Yeah, there was mostly Europe.
Yeah, so these women aren't American. So when I say buy an apartment, it's not in America. But yeah, and then he would never pay him back, and he would always have an excuse like, "Oh, the people are after me," and this and that. Um, One woman, she got attacked, like she literally got attacked, but it was a random just she got attacked, but because he had been telling her that people were after him, She thought that the people after him had attacked her because that was her boyfriend. I mean, she thought she was the girlfriend. She was one of many. And he had her believing like, oh, I told you it was dangerous or whatnot. But this was just a random attack. This had nothing to do with nothing. So basically, Mr. Tinder Swindler was not in the Israeli diamond mogul man.
Tracy, not really. I mean, he okay looking, but
He
it's not
was
like
okay.
hi Vanessa. He was okay, but
Hi,
it's
Vanessa.
I'm sorry, I wouldn't put up like like get a second mortgage on my home to help no man.
No, for nobody. I don't care how fine he is. But if I'm like, okay, if he approached me as regular dude, I'd be like, oh, maybe I'll give him a chance. But if he approached me as billionaire, I'd give him a chance because he was a nice looking man enough for a billionaire.
Basically, it was a Ponzi scheme. Like
Yeah, yeah,
so he would the money that he was using to lure his victims, like spending on them lavishly and the trips and everything, was money from his previous cons. And then he
right,
would do it all over again. So he was everything was with other women's money. So let's say I was the first one, I was, the first woman, and I gave him $20,000. After he got what he wanted, he would pretend, oh, here's some documents. I'm sending a transfer or whatever. But then he was already onto his next woman, treating her to
with
whatever
all the money you just gave.
my $20. So now he's treating Crystal on my $20,000, and then so he gets 30,000 from her, and now he's moving on to the next woman using
Right,
Crystal's 30,000 to treat, yeah, and living this lavish lifestyle.
right. And I mean, dang, just imagine somebody use your last to rent a private jet to take another woman out.
It's estimated that he swindled $10 million from women across the world.
And then it came to find out, like, some people didn't even know like, the girls didn't even know that he had already been to jail for
Hmm.
fraud.
Hmm.
And then
It
when,
just it was one of those things that just connected, like a reporter seeing a report. Like I forgot how it was. You tell them.
I don't remember how they found out, to be honest.
Well,
I told you I was in and out, girl. I was in and out. I wasn't
it
paying all
was
the way
like
attention.
it was like a reporter just stumbled upon something, and then another woman, and then called the woman, and then another woman had a similar story and a similar story, and then just kind of put it all together. And the
Yeah.
crazy thing is that he's not in prison.
No, no, no. He's not in. They did arrest him, but for something else. Like, they arrested him for passport fraud because
Yeah.
he had tried to use a passport under somebody else's name. But the last woman, she got the last laugh. You remember that?
Yes.
So the last woman, so once she realized what was going on, she played the game. So she was a reseller, and she told him, like, I'll sell your clothes, all your designer clothes, because he would wear like Gucci, Prada. He was decked down, had the glasses, the belts, the shoes, the clothes. So she was like, I'll sell it for the money, since you can't use your accounts and all that, I'll sell it. So she had to meet up with him one last time so that he can give her all the clothes. So she spent, I don't know if it was the weekend or whatever with him. She was like disgusted, but she had to pretend like she was all in love, telling him she loved him and this and that. And then he left all these designer clothes with her. She sold all his clothes, and then she ghosted him. He was calling her, leaving all kind of messages like, where are you, what, I need my money. And then she would just answer him back and tell him, I haven't sold anything. But she said she was just selling, 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 trying to recoup her money. And when the documentary was going on, she actually got a ding on her phone, and it was because she sold the item, that one of his items,
All his
while she was in the
items.
interview.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. So she got some of her money back. I don't know if she got all of her money back, but she got some of her money back because she scammed the scammer.
She scammed the scammer.
Yes, and he was so desperate. He was like, he would call her, he would leave a message like cursing her out, and then the next message would be like, "I love you, just give me another chance." Like he was trying to then butter her up to try to get the money. Then he would curse her out because she wasn't giving him the money. Then he would try to butter her up, and it was just like, okay, he was like going psycho.
I
Tracy
remember
said, "Ain't nobody that fine or rich for me."
I remember when it came out and everything, and I was reading about it, and I found his Instagram. He's still on Instagram. He has
Oh
a new
yeah, yeah,
he have a new woman living the life, living lavish uh on Instagram.
yeah. He was still on Instagram.
I'm trying to see if I can
Oh, we should talk about one day we should talk about the other one, Delvi. Delvi. What's the girl?
Oh, Anna Delvey.
Anna Delvi. We should talk about her one day. What is that?
Your
Nelly?
nephew.
Wait, where's Joseph? He should have been home by now.
Well, I just want some 2 bottles of alkaline water, please. What's wrong? I'm trying to find his oh, here he is.
What's his real name?
His real name is he was born Shiman Hayut, but I think he goes by Simon Leviev because the diamond mogul was Lev Leviev. But
Yeah, and then they found his mom.
this
Oh
is
yeah,
his,
that's
this
him.
is French Montana, but this is him. That's a Tinder Swindler.
And then they found his mom because they wanted to, because that was the address he was using. So they wanted to go and try to find him, I guess. And his mom didn't want to talk about it. But she was like, I haven't had contact with my son. He changed his name. I don't know if she was lying or if she was telling the truth, but because she said she hadn't had contact with him since he was 18.
Yeah,
What are you
I
doing?
think he was like. All right, did you still in my drawer? Be careful, please. The last thing I read on him, like in 2022 or something, was that he had got a manager and he was trying to break out in Hollywood.
I mean, what he could have do if he could have stopped all the swindling and use social media the um after the documentary came out. He could have got on social media and made a lot of money because people would have been intrigued at that point. But nobody would even break out in Hollywood. Who is hiring a swindler? This story is crazy. It truly is. It is so crazy. And then like one of the women, he took her on the private jet, and there was a baby and the mom of the baby there, and apparently he had told her this was his baby and this was his baby's mother. And the woman, the baby's mother, told the woman like, "Oh, he's such a good guy, he takes care of me even though we're not together." And who did she end up being?
I can't remember.
But when they had the list of victims, she so say was like the first victim, and she was like, "How are you? How was she a victim, but yet telling me that he's a good guy?" I don't know. He just had so much going on. The fake bodyguard, security guard.
Yeah, he sued Netflix.
Oh, he did.
He said he wasn't
Hey,
portrayed.
Rebecca.
Rebecca, he said he wasn't portrayed accurately in the documentary, so he sued Netflix for like $5 million.
I mean, what con artist would want their con to be exposed?
Not the bodyguard.
Oh, the bodyguard.
The bodyguard.
Oh, really? What
Hmm.
he was trying to say, like he didn't know what was going on.
He just said that he wasn't accurately portrayed. He was portrayed inaccurately in the documentary.
Huh?
But the women had said that he was introduced as his bodyguard. So I don't know.
I don't know.
That was a crazy show. Yeah, if you haven't watched it, I would say just watch it because it's way more detailed than what we're given. Like
Yeah,
each woman, because you're watching it and you're like, ma'am, how you fall for that? But they repeatedly, and they only did a small percentage of women that he conned
I
because
think like 3 or 4 of them were speaking. 3 I know for sure were speaking. I don't know if I missed any, but I know 3 for sure were speaking in the documentary, and it was like, girl, you went in your savings and took your money to buy yourself a home and gave it to him because you thought some people were after him. Come on now.
so the I just looked it up and it said the Times of is according to the Times of Israel, because he's Israeli. He pretended to be a son of a Russian Israeli diamond mogul, but he is from Israel. He is Israeli, and the Times of Israel said that according to them, between 2017 and 2019, he allegedly conned an estimated $1 billion from people and banks in a Ponzi scheme.
That is so crazy. What have you guys talked about so far? We talked about Vanessa Guillen, and then uh we're talking about Tinder Swindler right now. But, Bubby, you have to let me teach you that. Kamani's trying to do a crochet kit, but she don't know how to crochet. I know because the instructions are telling you what to do, but they're not teaching you how to crochet.
Remember after he got out of prison, he had a website where he would offer business advice for a fee and people were paying for it.
That's so crazy.
And according to the same in the Times of Israel in 2020, he pretended to be a medical worker so that he could get the COVID vaccine early.
What?
Mhm. Like
What?
he's still doing stuff.
So he really just thought that he was so important in this world. He
Yeah.
needed the COVID vaccine early. That's
And
crazy.
he went on CNN. I don't remember what year. It was after the documentary came out, and he said that he was not a con artist. He was not defrauding women. He was just a single guy who wanted to meet women on Tinder.
And take thousands upon thousands of dollars from him. I mean, granted, they gave him his money. They gave
That's
him
why
the
they
money, but
that's why they never arrested him. Like that's why he hasn't done real time because they freely gave the money.
he asked for the money. They gave it, but he did ask as a loan because he told him he would pay him back. Vanessa Guillen is the only one I watch. Is what Rebecca said.
Well,
Do you have any commentary, anything you want to say about it, Rebecca? I'm trying to see where
Kobe,
hubby is at because
stop. Come here.
he's supposed to be home. Oh, he's on the way.
Kobe.
Y'all, Saint is shaking my camera. Okay, no.
Oh, look, in 2022, shortly after, oh, so the documentary Netflix documentary was released in 2022. So shortly after the release of the documentary, he signed with talent manager Gina Rodriguez in pursuing a career in the entertainment industry. He is working on publishing a book along with a movie and a TV series based on his life story. He also has a Cameo account where he charges
Girl,
$99.
people probably do pay for that cameo
He
though.
charges $99 for personalized video.
99. People probably pay for that. Hey, but you know how many people would probably think it's so funny to get a cameo from you?
Remember when I was gonna get you a Cameo video?
Who you was gonna get my cameo? I remember, but
I couldn't decide because I kept asking you who's your favorite 90 Day. And you was like, I don't know. And I thought about Angela.
girl, I'm glad you didn't give Angela your money.
I was gonna do Angela or Michael
I would
or
have liked one from Michael.
or I can't remember. Jasmine and Gino.
Lord Jesus. We gotta talk 90 Day because I haven't been watching it, but I've been watching a lot of stuff about Lauren, the man. So we gotta talk about that. Um,
I haven't been watching it.
wait, what is
Rebecca
what
says
is that?
that Hubby says that the Secretary of Defense that Trump wants to put in place doesn't want women in the military, so SA may not be as much as a problem anymore. Yeah, he said that women should not be in the military. I saw it today.
I didn't mean to press that.
I
I'm
thought that
trying to
was
put.
me.
No, it was me because it's acting funny. I have to say, StreamYard is more user friendly, but Restream has more options and it's free. Um, and Rebecca says sum up what we talked about
We
for
just
Vanessa. I guess we can end by circling back for Rebecca because we soon have to get off. We keep pushing Night Stalker. We need to make next week just the Night Stalker week.
no, we got to talk about the Delphi murders because there's been updates on it.
Oh, well, forget Night Stalker until further notice, maybe, because nothing is going on new with that. I mean, he dead. Oh,
He is dead. Um,
no.
we just basically talked about who she was and that she when she went missing and how the army really basically didn't
They didn't do their due
do their,
diligence because it's so much secrecy.
yeah.
And they tried to say, that there was no sexual harassment or anything inappropriate in that manner. There was no evidence of it. And then we also talked about um her mom.
Her mom was an illegal immigrant, and
Yeah.
then I'm writing down Delphi murders. I don't know if there's anything to watch. Let me go see real quick.
There is I mean, I don't know about the new stuff that came out, but there is a documentary. Or maybe it was an episode.
It's called Down. So there's two. There's one on Amazon and there's one on Max. The one on Max is called Watch Down the Hill, the Delphi murders. Oh, it's called Down the Hill. Oh, that might be the same one. Yeah, Down the Hill, the Delphi murders.
Okay. Are we gonna just make next week all about Delphi?
Well, I want to also give us something light to talk about as well. So I thought that it's not really light, but it's not like murder. So I thought that we could watch Can I Tell You a Secret on Netflix.
What is that one? I feel like I watched it.
You probably did. So it was the stalker. It happened in Britain, and like the stalker infiltrated all their social media accounts, started contacting their families and stuff, and like multiple women.
Wait. So ugly. I gotta see. I don't know if I watched this one or not. Okay. So Delphi and what's this one? And what is it called? Can I Tell You a Secret?
So Delphi Down the Hill, the Delphi murders is on Max, and then Can I Tell You a Secret is on Netflix.
And look, y'all, if you do not have the streaming thing and you can't get a something to watch it, just familiarize yourself with the case if you want to know what's going on, or just come listen to what we say. I mean, the homework is optional, but if you can't watch the doc, you can always just Google it if you want to kind of see what's going on, or you can Google it as we talk about it on the live. But
I'm kind of it's
what?
nothing. I was just about to comment on what Rebecca has said, but I'm not gonna comment.
Say what you say, feel what you feel.
I don't want to comment anymore.
You don't want to be too biased right now.
I don't want to be too political.
Oh, we don't want to get political.
Yeah, but I mean, like a lot of I was just gonna say a lot of women have long-term careers in the military. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like what they're gonna do with all these women.
They don't care.
That's why I didn't want to say anything. I don't want to make people political.
No, we know they got 10-minute summaries on these.
And what?
She asked if they got 10-minute summaries on these things. Come here for the 10-minute summary.
I'm here for the 10-minute summaries. That's what we do. But look, again, if you don't, I think that the Delphi murders was a big case, and we can kind of give like the majority of details. A lot of it is in the news or whatever. But can I tell you a secret? Is a really good doc. Like it talks about like cyber stalking and like importance of online privacy and safety and things like that. And I think it was I know, Rebecca. That's why I didn't want to say anything.
And that was the whole problem in Fort Hood, though, with
Yeah.
Vanessa.
Can I tell you a secret? I have a lot of secrets too, but that's how it started. It was like, hey, can I tell you a secret? And it just snowballed into this whole thing, but I'm not gonna talk about it. But it was really good. I was watching it like,
You always find those kind, and you tell me about them. Cause me, I'm usually just watching murder. But you be
yeah,
like, "Did you see such and such?" I'm either watching
yeah.
a cult, a alien, or murder.
An alien.
Did you watch the new Alien doc on Netflix?
What it's called?
I don't know.
Possibly. You know, I don't know what I watch till.
I mean, well, it just came out like not too long ago.
I. Oh, I think I started. I didn't finish because me and Joseph was talking about it because he wanted to watch it.
Watch work.
What was the documentary on Netflix with the aliens? You don't remember the name?
Something about
One,
the aliens.
He said, I didn't even remember.
The Manhattan alien abduction.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did I finish watching it? I think I did. I don't think I finished because I couldn't concentrate good whatever I was doing because the way it started out, the wife of the person who yeah, we gonna have to watch. Yeah, you watch alien stuff?
It depends. It depends because if it's too scary, I'd be scared in here by myself.
Oh, Rebecca got to add.
Oh, I gotta add.
That smell.
What's
They
me?
got one called Investigation
Oh,
Alien too.
popcorn. They got what?
They got one called Investigation Alien on Netflix and one called the Manhattan Alien Abduction or whatever I said.
Oh, well, I don't know. All right, I think we do good with two cases though. A heavy and a light is what we'll call it.
You wanna? Do you have time to record this week or next week? When you leaving?
Sunday. Well,
This
I guess
Sunday?
they don't want because any female nurses in the service. Hmm. Yeah, this Sunday.
For what?
Nano surgery.
How you children don't know you leaving?
They don't know. They don't have a good sense of time. They know what's going on, but they don't know when it's going on.
Because no one tells us. Are we gonna come?
I don't know, Karen. I'm on live. This is not the time for us to figure out our life.
Oh.
Aliens, no thank you unless there's some steamy romance. I'm super intrigued and interested in aliens because I'm like
Okay with you.
Oh,
aliens,
I love the aliens. I really wish they would beam me up.
Listen.
same.
Come and beam me up. Earth is getting too hectic.
Zero stars, zero stars.
It's late.
I don't know, but let me go find out what is. I'm such a curious person. I want to know what's going on this side of town.
When they put you back, you're gonna be like, don't go, they don't like humans. They tried to murder me.
They probed my brain. All they can do is when they go probe it and realize I don't remember nothing what's going on Earth, so they probe the wrong
They're gonna be like,
brain.
send her back. She have no memory. There's nothing in there.
It
We
was
learned.
like a black hole.
They're gonna be like, we learned how to sew
All we see is quilts.
and murder.
Quilts and murder. It's like really weird in there.
You look so mad.
She knows nothing else. Okay, where's my Vanessa summary of what you talked about? I didn't miss it, did I? Girl, you missed you missed it and you missed the
In the
summary.
summary, so we talked about who she was. We talked about like a little bit about her family, and then we talked about where she worked in Fort Hood. She was she was in the army, and how she had told her mom that she was being sexually harassed. She didn't want to report it for fear of retaliation. We talked about, her going missing, how the army didn't really handle the investigation properly. Talked about the searches. Talked about the searches and like what the law enforcement did do. And once they found her remains, and they talked to the girlfriend of the soldier who said that it was her boyfriend who did it. And when they eventually found him, he killed himself. And then the girlfriend went to jail and basically said that the reason her boyfriend, he hit Vanessa over the head with a hammer in the armory, was because she saw his lock screen of his girlfriend on the phone, and his girlfriend was actually married to another soldier at Fort Hood, and he was worried she would report him and he would get in trouble.
He
Basically,
sure was coward to go and kill herself and leave her to deal with it on her own. Like they both should have been in jail.
they both should have been in jail. But sir, why, if you that scared of the fraternization rules, why would you put her on your lock screen?
That's
What if the
dumb.
commanding officer walks by? Like,
He wasn't too bright. He wasn't too bright. But I feel like it's a lot of that going on in the military as it is. Just the stories that your spouse would tell us.
yeah.
Because I'd be like, what? For real? That's what's going on over there?
Where's the refrigerator?
Wait, don't open that.
Oh.
He was just, first of all, he was a coward and he was dumb. I'm sorry. Like,
You dumb? You dumb because if you're going to be breaking the rules, why you got it on your lock screen? You're dumb because that's not a reason to kill somebody. Like that's just so crazy. And then you go and kill yourself. So you did it all for nothing because now you're dead.
yeah. And like I said, my spouse at the time was a recruiter, and there were, like, the recruiters didn't understand why so many women of Hispanic or Latin descent were like nervous about joining the military, and it was because of Vanessa Guillen.
And I mean, apparently she first generation American serving her country.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, she graduated in the top 15% of her class, and also she was scared of retaliation too, because her mom wasn't legal. Her mom was undocumented, so she didn't want to report to her superiors in case they retaliated against her and targeted her mom.
Not what the murderer said, but what Vanessa went through, how the military peeps handle it, how they treat family members, everything.
I don't know if I completely believe the story about the cell phone. I think that he was harassing her or trying, to get with
Well,
her.
in Fort Hood, first of all, they say it's like one of the worst bases.
It is, and
And
it's one of the
then
largest.
they had like caught some of the male soldiers trafficking the female soldiers.
It's really bad.
And it's like that's so crazy. The
It's bad, and
supervisor
that's
spoke to the hostile
when they
environment when they made it okay to
when
behave
they
the way
did like
exactly.
when they did the independent review or whatever, and like they disciplined the officials and everything because they said they created an environment where people felt it's safe to sexually harass or assault female soldiers. So
They knew they were protected, so they did what they wanted. Is the largest biz.
so
This America has come so far, yet not far enough. That's why it's so bad, right?
what
I'm assuming she's saying that's why it's so bad because they're they're protected, or because it's the largest.
My life is at risk.
for
We just I feel
liberty?
like every time we go live, I have on the same darn dress.
That's crazy.
It's not crazy because I
I
wear the
think
same
it's
three
one
dresses
of the
on.
largest, but I think that it's either Fort Bragg or Fort Liberty is the largest in the U.S. But Fort Hood is huge. Like it's huge. My mom, my sister, they live in Killeen, which is where Fort Hood is. But it does happen
It
at
happens
all.
there all on the pools.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Um, Rebecca, why do you feel like women are treated that way in the military? Do you think it's just because it's a man's world? Do you feel like men feel threatened by women being in the military? Or is it because they want to assert their dominance?
Mommy. Yeah.
Oh, why? What are y'all doing?
He's trying to. He's
All of the above. Man.
You hear him licking me?
No, but can you get off of me?
No, cause I'm.
it's just because historically they didn't get in trouble for it, and it like yeah, I agree all of the above,
Take
but
over
being
mommy's chair.
disciplined or punished
It's the
for it, they
pillow.
can get away with it. Um, there's a
But
story.
that's like
There's a
if
story,
somebody tell you you can murder somebody tomorrow and you won't go to jail for it, that don't mean you're gonna go murder them.
right? But I mean, like, if you already,
I'm gonna put you on camera.
it happens in all branches of the military. Um, because I know not firsthand, but I have, my spouse was in the Navy and there were issues. It happens in all branches of the military. And it's just one of those, it's just one of those things that happen. Because even, um, I'm not saying it's just one of those things that happen there that are like, it just happens. That's what I'm saying. It happens in all branches. And you have to understand too, like, if you compare it to the real world, like not the real world, but civilians, just
Civilian.
right, just as often as it happens in like the civilian world, it happens in the military as well. They work in close quarters. There's a hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? And like it just, unfortunately, it's the world we live in.
Yeah. They're there for fighting and killing. Can y'all stop? Come on in. Come on in, Grace. All right. So I know that I gotta get off of here. And Celine, she said she did too. So it was fun, some heavy stuff, but yet the Tinder Swindler kind of,
You want Saint?
Kobe, come here.
lighten things up a little bit. Cause Rebecca, if you didn't watch the Tinder Swindler, you need to go watch it. It don't have anything to do with murder or anything like that. It's just crazy. I think it happens more in the military. I don't know. I feel like when women enter a male dominant space, then men start getting feeling threatened, and and we all know what happens whenever their little egos are hurt. Sorry, men, if you're watching this.
Your whole husband right there.
My husband is not egotistical and he's not chauvinistic. He a feminist.
He a feminist.
That's what he tell me.
That's good.
Men are macho.
My son says he's an ally.
Allah.
All right, y'all. Like I said, I gotta go.
Okay, I do too. I'm tired. It's but
Next week we will talk Delphi. What's the name of the doc?
down the hill, the Delphi murders.
Down the Hill, the Delphi Murders. If you can't watch it, that's okay. Just show
Just
up.
that
Or and then the other one is Can I Tell You a Secret? I gotta go watch that one because I don't think I've seen that one
on Netflix.
on Netflix. And we'll see y'all Wednesday. And if you're here for Crystal Heart stuff, I'll see y'all Friday night on Friday Night Live. Y'all have a good night.
Bye.
Bye. Thank y'all for coming. And subscribe to Mystery Mugs and Melanin if you're not.
Yeah, it was always 6. We changed it to like 7 or something one time because Crystal had to go pick up Joseph from work, and then she said it that one more time because she just forgot. But yeah, it's always 6.
Yes, 06. Hey, Shelby. Yes, come next week. Thank you for stopping in and saying hi. Y'all hit the like button on your way out. And if you are on the Crystal Heart channel, cross over to Mystery Mugs Melon and hit a like over there so we can get some more traction over there. We need some more subbies over there. Go sub. Go do that. Y'all have a good night.